Okay, hello and welcome everybody. Welcome to OTC Nightlight. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Sprinkles Nixon, and we have with us here Linda Irwin and Peg Jones. We are the OTC team. And tonight we're doing a little something special for you, and we hope you're going to like it. So, what we're going to do is Linda Irwin will be up, and she'll be sharing her topic for tonight and helping us be informed about things that we normally aren't. And Peg will be up after that, and then I will be last. And hopefully we can have some music sometime in between this. Okay, so Linda, I'm going to turn it over to you. And unless you all just want to get up and say hello and what have you.
Well, I'll say hello. Peg, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
And Sprinkles?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Awesome. Are you are you guys ready for video creation part 1?
Yes.
Definitely.
All right. Well, everyone, this is video creation part 1. I'm Linda Irwin. And the very first thing you should probably do when you're creating a video before you begin is to write what I call a storyboard. Now, I'm actually a licensed television producer, and I got that licensing back in the 90s in Portland, Oregon at MCTV, and they teach you how to do storyboards. Now, storyboards are simply sketching out in a brief cartoon box style, a brief timeline of your entire video before you begin. This will give you a short and easy form of script. And let me pull up here for you an example of what one looks like. And that should be coming up. There we go.
Oh.
So you can basically map out all of your scenes this way, kind of draw in here what you want in each of the boxes and a short description. So say opening scene and then say it's in a park. You could just kind of sketch a tree in a park or something. Then over here it's at somebody's house and they just put the people or the characters in there where you want them to be and kind of give a description down here of what you're going to be talking about. This is not like following a full director's script. This is merely just a means of getting things lined up so that you know in what order you should probably do your filming, and that's what's going to help you out with that. So that's the first thing you should probably do. Sit down and figure out the basis, all the scenes that you're going to have in your story, and make out a short storyboard. Now, are you using a camera? Are you going outside and filming? Are you filming indoors? One, especially if you're going on location, make sure your batteries are fully charged before you leave and that you have an extra battery, because I'll tell you what, it's really bad when you're right in the middle of a very intense scene, the actors or whatever scenery you're doing is perfect, and your camera battery dies. You don't want that to happen, so make sure that you're prepared ahead of time. And also white balance. Now you may, what is white balance? Okay, if you're outdoors, the sun naturally gives off a more bluish, violetish light than it would if you were indoors, whether it was daylight or through lights that you have in the house. So you need to take a sheet of white paper and hold it in front of the lens and then select there is a white balance setting somewhere on that camera if it's a digital camera or a regular analog camera, and then have it do the white balance test. That will make sure that you don't have to go into post-production and change the hue and saturation colors to make things look natural. I've actually seen news broadcasts where they didn't white balance and the people came out looking orange. So be sure to white balance if you're going to use a camera. Also, it is best to have a tripod to put your camera on, and I'll tell you why. No matter if you're filming a scene where somebody is walking or you're filming traffic going by, the tendency is for us to shake a little bit. And while you can destabilize film that has shaken during the process of recording, you don't want to have to do that, because then you have to do a lot of cropping and that to get the edges to line up right, because stabilizing video will cause your edges on your screen to be all warped. So make sure you have a good tripod, something nice and sturdy to set up. And that way too, it's got handles on it. You can move it up and down, you can move it side to side. So make sure too that all of your connections on your tripod are secured before you begin filming, and I'll tell you why. I've actually seen people that didn't, and right in the middle of filming, their camera fell over and suddenly they were filming upside down. So you want to make sure that's in place. Now, another thing is location selection. Make sure you have permission to film where you're going to be doing your filming at. Generally, things like public parks and that are all right. Businesses, if you're going to be doing an indoor scene or outside of a business, you need to get the owner's permission first because you could potentially be facing a lawsuit if you don't. If you're going to do this in somebody's house, make sure the one that owns and pays the mortgage on the house, you have their permission as well. Number 2, noise level. This is very, very important for a good, successful film. Audio is 50% of whatever film you are making. Heavy traffic or large numbers of people can drown out your dialogue or your monologue if you're simply talking about something yourself. Now, tips on what you can do. If you really are in a heavy traffic area of people, cars, or whatever, outside noises, don't record the audio on it. Or if you do, when you go into post-production, separate that audio out and delete it. What you can actually do is create sound effects, ambient sound effects, whatever, and set the volume on it so that it doesn't drown out your dialogue. Have your people do their dialogue with lavalier mics, and I will be getting into that in the future so that you're getting more of their actual voice and it will match up with the video. Now, lighting is very important as well. You can also correct this post-production, like I was saying, with brightness, contrast, and all that. It is best to make sure you have adequate light and that it is diffuse. And the reason why, if you have a very strong singular light source, it's going to do some very unflattering shadows to your faces. It's going to angle things you don't want really prominent in your video. If you're going to be indoors, it's best not to just have a single overhead light, but to have lamps that are set. And what we did in the television studios, we had overhead, but they were 3 lights, and they were gel lights, so they weren't plain white light. If you take very soft tones, the main light colors, the main light basic elementary colors are your red, green, and blue. So you want to have green on one triangular point, slightly above you. You want to have red, another one, and blue behind you, but you want them to be the very pastel lights if you can. And they do make light bulbs that automatically give that color. Or if you do have studio lights, you can simply put in those gels. Those 3 colors together will make white. So when the 3 of them blend and shine down on you, it will look naturally white light, but yet it will be soft and not bring out the harsh shadows that you don't want. This one's really important, and I've seen newscasters break this one. Do not wear tight patterned, high contrast clothing. What I mean by that is if you have a very tight pattern of thin stripes of black and white close together, when you move, it's going to look like it's neon or something. It does some really weird stuff. Hold on, I'm trying to find that again here. Okay. But what it does is it will actually give a strange neo-throbbing effect. And as soon as I get this one up here, I'll play it for you. I actually made this last night, and this is similar to what you will see if, there we go. See how that's wavering? That video is wavering simply because the patterns are so close and the camera can't process the changes of the light that quickly. And I'll play it again. So what happens is if somebody's wearing a very tight pattern, black and white, or even dark colors of any kind, every time you move, the camera can't keep up with those color changes because they're too close together and it can't process those. So you definitely want to make sure that you don't wear anything like that. Wear large prints if you're going to wear prints, but I honestly suggest the best course of action is just to wear something solid. So on that, we go to the next one. Microphones. Very important. As I said, audio is 50% of your video quality. If you're filming a scene that has people standing away from your camera where you're not going to be able to pick them up really well, lavalier microphones are best. And what lavalier microphones are tiny little microphones that have battery packs on them that you can wear like on the back of your belt or something and stay out of sight, but they clamp onto your collar. and they have the best for picking up the person directly, and it cuts down too on any outside noise and distraction. 6, know what you wish the people in your video to do and make sure they know what they are going to say. Long pauses lead to jump cuts in editing, which I'm going to explain now. Jump cuts are, and you've probably seen this if you've watched YouTube videos of people that give commentaries, for example, and they have the camera on themselves. Well, they decide to do a commentary and then they pause for a little bit, and then later on they edit out the part where they paused. Jump cuts, they may be looking up at the ceiling or something. All of a sudden their head instantly snaps back down to the camera, and parts of their words are cut off too because they have to edit it so close. So somebody be talking like this, and then they're like that, and then they're not, you know, it's very distracting and very disturbing. Please avoid jump cuts. They're very annoying. Okay. All right. If you're doing screen recording, I recommend OBS, Open Broadcast Software, and it is free. That's right, free. I have also heard game streamers discuss XSplit, and that may be one you want to check out as well. Before you use your OBS to record whatever you're going to record on screen, do test recordings to make sure you have your streaming software set up according to instructions for best video and output. There are YouTube videos on how to correctly set this up, so I won't go into all that. Note, if you are having another person on your stream with you via audio, such as through Skype or Google Hangouts, you will need virtual cables. Research VB cables. They are free, but they do take donations. Also, if you discover upon testing that your stream or recording is too laggy, you need to close unneeded applications and disable screensaver and power settings temporarily because those do interfere. Your computer is clocking those while it's trying to do something else, and it's very distracting to your streaming and recording program. Now, whether or not to enable or disable your visible cursor on screen. It is advisable to leave the cursor showing if you are doing a tutorial or wishing to stress certain parts of a website or document. And you'll know you have that going if whenever you move your cursor, there's like a halo around where it is, usually yellow. Sometimes they also have them in green and red or blue. Otherwise, if you're just trying to give a visual tour, like I've done recently with some videos where I'm going down somebody's web pages, turn the visibility of the cursor to off. That's one of the things that's available in the OBS software. Note, if you only have access to Bandicam or Hypercam, especially unregistered Hypercam 2, unless you are trying to appear nostalgic for the purpose of the video, be sure to crop out those watermarks post-production. Trust me, I'm on Vidly website, and I can't tell you how many times people complain about that showing all through somebody's screen recorded video. Anyway, next time we will be talking about if you're doing a slideshow video, using stock video clips, or preparing to do animation video. Well, this is Linda Irwin with some basics for you on how to set up for creating videos, part 1. And I hope to see you all next time. Right now, we're going to take a little bit of a musical break, and we'll be back with Peg and Sprinkles.
Okay, we're going to have to skip over the musical break because my program froze.
Oh.
So, what we're going to do here, folks, is we're going to bring Peg on, and in the meantime, I'm going to try and set this so that I could probably go out and come back in and then have a little bit of music. But
okay, well, I left that for you for post-production anyway.
Okay, so let's go with Peg. Peg, I hope you're ready, and we'll get this out, and then in between I'll put the music in there later.
Okay.
Peg. Peg, you're muted, Peg.
Peg, you're muted.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to my part of the show. I'm not really going to say a whole lot tonight, but I'm going to talk about some of the things that I offer, and also just, I don't know, maybe the angels have a message for me tonight. I'm not really sure. But anyways, some of the things that I do are, I work in the Akashic Records, and I had the opportunity of doing one today, and it was pretty interesting. And I also, of course, offer angel readings and angelic life coaching. It's kind of a step up from the angel readings, because it's kind of a mentoring or a coaching type thing. Maybe working on an issue that you may have, or that you may want to have healing with. And I also teach classes, and I offer a 10-week class, which is working with your angels, working with 10 different angels over a 10-week period. And we learn about the angels, and we learn kind of what their energy's like, and the different ways that we can work with them and how they can help us. And so by the end of the 10 weeks, you have a good understanding of who some of the archangels are, and how they can help us. And I also am teaching, I'm going to be teaching an angel oracle card class, how to read angel oracle cards. I'm going to offer it here. And I'm also offering it in my area too. I'm not sure when that's going to start, but hopefully it will start soon. And let's see, what else do I do? I also do distant healing, Reiki, and IET. IET is an angelic energy healing. And it's working on the chakra points and meridian points to help clear blocks that truly no longer serve us. I offer channeled messages, and that's about all I can think of right now. And I'm really trying to get my act together. I'm not really sure what is happening. But I just, I think sometimes we just come to a point where we just have to kind of just take some time. But I am offering these things and offering coaching, if there's questions concerning awareness, that you have, you're welcome to ask me, or come talk to me, or come talk to any of us, actually, because we all kind of have all different areas. And I guess that's kind of what is kind of happening. I feel like I've I don't know. I feel like our connections, are becoming easier in time, because I feel like there's just so many more people that are so much more aware, and I feel like a lot of people have a lot of questions, and don't be afraid to talk to ask them, and because there have been a lot of changes in our world, and I really feel like you know, the more we can come together and share, you know, the more we are of help to each other in a positive way. So, you know, don't take that time to, you know, to expand if that's what you're so willing to do or want to do. So I think that's all I have to say. And have a good night, everyone.
Well done, Peg. Absolutely interesting. I'll have some information, not information. I have some questions I want to go over with you if we have time after this. Okay, so I guess it's little old me time. What do I do? Okay, for those who don't know me, I'm a psychic medium, palm reader, and I became a psychic medium around the age of 6 after a near-death experience, which enabled me to go through a lot of growing in learning more about myself. And it took many years, I got to tell you. But all in all, I got to where I was doing readings for people that were coming to my home as far away as Ireland. I don't know how they found me or what they knew, but they were coming knocking at my door. Anyway, so that's how kind of it started for me. And it was before that, it was before 17, it was mostly family and friends that I was reading, but things started to grow more and more outward. I became interested in astrology first because my husband's an astrologer, okay, and as he was going to classes learning, he would tape them, and when the classes were over, he'd bring the tapes home, and I got a chance to listen in and to go along with the class. But it was absolutely fascinating because I find that astrology is in everything. It's in tarot cards, which I read tarot, and it's in palmistry. It's just the astrology itself, and everybody has their own little interpretations of what the influences are as well. So you really kind of got to get out there and learn as much as you can about that. I'm also an ordained minister, which for 7 years I occupied myself with helping my community, mostly in distributing food for them, finding ways to get food for the people in my community that, like a lot of them were on food stamps. Well, I would get a package of, say, maybe $5, and that would be at least 5 bags of groceries for them. And I'm talking things like that are taxable. Anyway, it was an awesome learning experience doing that, and I have not gotten to the point where I've married somebody off, but I do feel like I did what I could with that skill to find things for people, and I love helping people. Okay, so now we're into how I got here with the OTC. It started back where I started making posters for this one chat site, and I loved creating. Oh, it just brings out you can feel it in some of the things that I put out there. But I loved doing that. So I was doing posters, and then I was trying to help promote it. And that was another thing that I found that I love. I love promoting people. I love being able to get them to see themselves in their own light. It's shining out there. And then from there, I got together with Peg, and and there was another one that was along with us at the time, but we made the off-the-cuff E-zine, where I was doing magazines and publishing magazines, and Peg stood with me for the longest of times, and we did go through a few company head to where, we finally got it where we have Linda with us. And Linda's absolutely amazing at what she can do. And Peg is as amazing, too, because Peg knows her angels. And she is one that is always open to listen, to see what you have to say, and try to find ways to be of help to another. So all in all, we're a package of OTC. And what I do in OTC is I do the posters, I do the promo, I do the, what else do I do? Posters, the promo. I do podcasts, I produce them. I put things out on social media. What else do I do? Oh my gosh. Videos. I love doing the videos too. These are all things that have enabled me to be of help to others. And I really don't ask so much in return. Well, I don't think I ever ask anything in return other than people being honest and upfront and out there. And if we can get them to where somebody notices them or appreciates their skills and they want to get to know somebody else to where they can move on to better things, that is such a delight in actually feeling that you've done what you were supposed to do and help somebody out there. So what else do we got going? Oh, and the E-zine, yeah, that goes out once a month, okay. And I don't know if there's any more to add. If there's any questions, please let me know. You can contact me on Facebook, Sprinkles Nixon. You can contact me at OTC just about any time. And the OTCR, just visit the website, E-zine.com. And you can meet Peg, and you can meet Linda, and find out what we have here to offer for you. And I think that's about it. Any questions?
About advertising?
Yes, advertising. Yes, that is. We make videos for anybody that wants advertising done or wanting to promote themselves. We can do that. It's all. I don't know what else we left out. So we've got the advertising, we've got the promos, promoting out all over the place to just about every social media there is. And if you don't see it under Off the Cuff E-zine, you might see it under Cuthbert. We're on Twitter, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're all over. Tumblr, what else is out there? Instagram, Tumblr. And some I didn't even know of. But it's something I always wanted to do, and I think it was of help to a lot of people there. Our columnists were absolutely awesome who gave of their time. And they, too, a lot of them have moved on because there was better things for them. And I can only hope that we had part in that in helping them get to that point. Okay, what else could I tell you? On the personal side, I'm married 46, going on 47 years to the same man. I have 3 children. I have 2 girls and my son, who's the baby. And I have 9 grandchildren. And the majority of those grandchildren come from my son. Who knew? Anyway, and that they're open to what I do, and they just want me really to be happy. So they, I do what I can, but I don't work weekends because that is my family time, and I make that for that purpose itself. But sometimes I do skip if there's nothing going on. I'll go ahead and get back to something, doing something. But that's about it on me. And I just love working with Linda and with Peg. They've been awesome. And that's it.
Well, we love you too.
Yes, we do.
Oh, thank you. I love you guys too. And I can only hope and wish that something comes along and gives us the opportunity to kind of move on ourselves and in the direction that we are looking for. Come check us out. Go to the website. Go to Peg's site. Peg's is Angelica. What's your website?
It's actually angelicalwhispers.wordpress.com.
Okay, and Linda, you can find at
AISXQ.com. That is the link where you can get all of my graphics and everything that I do there. If you click on the wormhole, it will take you to a lot of fun stuff that Awesome Insanity Surfers does.
yeah.
But if you're looking for serious commercials or anything like that, or training on video or making graphics using, say, Pixabay, Pexels, that type of stuff that's free for commercial use, let me know. Because clip art is fun, and especially if it's vector graphics, you can combine things in amazing ways to get your message out there through a banner or a graphic.
Yes, yes, and it especially if the person behind them loves creating them, because that's what we do. And some projects call for more time than other projects, but just know that if you're getting anything here from Peg or Linda, you're getting the best, because they put it out there in the best way possible for you to enjoy and for you to like. Okay, so where are we off to? I think we can actually, if you want, we can end this, and then I can fill in the spots with the radio.
Did you have questions for me, did you say?
Yeah, Peg, what are the classes that you take? I mean, that you give? What?
My 10-week class, my angel, how to read for yourself and others using angel oracle cards. Also making your own oracle cards. And I also offer, which I did in the fall, was the creative writing with purpose from the heart. And that's just a touch on how to expand your understanding of writing creatively, I guess, and just kind of learning, exploring different people that have written books about creative writing, and doing some writing exercises in the class. And it was kind of a crazy fall, to say the least. But it is usually about 5 weeks that I do it. And now we're doing a study of Julia Cameron's book. And it's just like a meetup. And that's been interesting too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and what else do I offer? Well, angel circles, also healing circles, which I haven't done in a very long time, with, or a meditation circle. Actually that's how I started, with healing meditations. We were in a chat room, and we offered like a weekly healing service, and we had, we wrote meditations and offered prayers and little tidbits of inspiration and stuff.
And you have a book out.
And I have a book out. Yep, it's a book of angel messages, a message for each day of the year, with a journal writing exercise. And it's called Living in the Heart Place with Your Angels, Daily Angelical Whispers Throughout the Year. And there's a message for each day of the year. So.
Okay, Linda.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you, in your little class session that we just had with you, you mentioned something about the lighting. Did you say gel lighting?
Okay, what gels are little square pieces of transparent paper that are plastic that are tinted, and they go in a special type of lamp that's usually mounted on the ceiling. You'll see these if you ever have done a talk show or anything in a studio. And they use them on stage for plays and that too, but they have several of them on the ceiling for that. But you can get those for home use. I think they're a little expensive though, so if you're very seriously trying to make it big, then you might want to invest in those. Otherwise, I would just use the diffuse tinted light bulbs, and you can find those in hardware stores.
Okay, and there's a part of you, Linda, that you didn't mention here as well, and that is where you're open to
Extraterrestrials?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, they're around me all the time. I've been in touch with them since I was 8 years old. And they come from very many different planets, star systems, and even dimensions and time spaces. But I do have some videos coming up soon. I've created a new channel on Vidlii, vidlii.com. I'm currently on there under Continuum X. That's the whole word continuum and then the capital X right after it.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where my spiritual, paranormal, extraterrestrial, metaphysical content is all going to be housed, is under that channel over there. But I actually have video of some of them here in my home. So I will be definitely posting that when I get a chance.
Yes, and you got to see that because I've seen it. She had sent it to me at one time, and I was like, oh my gosh, really? So,
yep. They love me.
If you have any questions of that sort, Linda's also able to help you get a little bit more of an understanding on that.
Mm-hmm. I sure can.
So, yeah. I think that's it in the, or out of the box.
Well, I see Cuthbert, so does Jammies. I wonder if that means he's ready to go night-night.
Yes, yes, he is. Isn't he the cutest little guy?
He is.
He's very cute. Yes, definitely.
So great. With toilet paper stuffed in.
I always want to call him Egbert, though. I don't know why.
Well, we should have made him more oval. That's what.
Yeah, the yoke would be on us.
Yeah, sure. Okay, ladies. So I'd like to end this now, only so that I can get that music in there, and it's not too big of a thing to send up there. But for those that have listened in, which are going to probably chop some of the stuff out, depending on where it is, where I kept saying, well, I don't have a song for you, but I will. We'll clean this up, and we'll send out the recording for you all to have a good listen to. All right, so look for it on Facebook, look for it on your social media messages, anything with Off the Cuff, Cuthbert, OTC, anything along those lines, that's us. So let it lead you right back to us, and if we can be of help, we certainly will. Any last words, ladies? Ladies.
Good night, and everyone have a great day, a great week, a great month, a great year, a great life.
Great.
Yes.
Just be great. Just be great.
Be the awesome that you are. Pour that on everything. All right. Love and light, everybody.
Love and light.
Love and light.